Archie, luxury jumps on a Boeing jet, leaves behind the family, no regrets. He's got a birthday, I'm your old Shanghai. Eyes are on Mrs. Lai, the reason why. While in Brisbane, the tears roll strong. Chinese whispers called him to Hong Kong. Pack up your bags and off you go. Leave behind the begging for the Luxy show. Archie flies where the dragon soared to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore. Archie's chasing dreams in the mystic land. Mrs. Lai brings coffee to his hand. Family's calls echo on the phone. He's miles away, lost, but he's not alone. In old Shenzhen's glow, he likes to stray. With Mrs. Lai, they bonk till the light of day. Pack up your bags and off you go. He's not showing up to New York, what show? Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore. Though the tears roll down in Brisbane town, Archie's 3-inch dick flops all around. Celebrations in the neon night, forgetting home, he's chasing new Asian delights. Pack up your bags and off you go. Leave the begging for the beach ball show. Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore. Weeks later, Archie leaves his playground, comes back home, he's Brisbane bound. Comes up with stories that he's going bust, has to fool the punters to gain their trust. Pack up your bags and off you go. Leave the begging for the beach ball show. Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore. Archie spent the punter's money, he's in a fix. Spins a story that he can't eat bricks. All the lonely simps believe his scam. Grab all their cash, shove it in his hand. Pack up your bags and off you go. He didn't bother with the New York watch show. Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore. Comes on streams, he cries poor again. His mate 10 gives him $5,000, maybe 10. Archie thinks he's a big swing dick, cause the punters fall for his gypsy shtick. Pack up your bags and off you go. Didn't bother with the New York watch show. Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore.
Welcome to the program. Welcome to the show, guys. Saturday morning here in the Archieverse. This is the Horology Dungeon. I am the narrative, guys. We're going to be covering the bombshell story of Mookie quitting the hate streams. It's been a developing story since yesterday morning. The Archieverse has been covering it. We were the first to get the scoop, the first to release it. Obviously, Doc's Report picked up the story after us and helped us widen the net of this story. But, you know, we definitely want to bring some updates today for you guys just on how the saga has evolved over the last 24 hours and really what's going on, right? There's been a lot of questions from the Archieverse towards Curly, towards OC about what really happened here. Like, is Mookie really gone? I mean, that was kind of the first, I think that was the first step, you know, when we released this story. We had a lot of folks in our chat yesterday. Bear and I did a pretty brief dungeon yesterday where we had a number of folks in the chat, Rufus and many others, questioning whether this story was real. And, you know, we had very credible, we had credible intelligence that the story was real. OC had leaked a lot of information to us about the story. And then we released it, right? So, you know, I'm going to talk to you guys about kind of what happened yesterday. OC leaking the story to the Archieverse revealing the story, and then a lot of deflection and backtracking from the Fries Club right now. I think that Curly wasn't anticipating this story to get out. They probably wanted to have a lot more damage control. They wanted to control the narrative of how the story came out. And look, what I think they just don't realize is when they declared war against the Archieverse, you know, many, many months ago when Curly got booted for sabotaging Archie's channel, like, you know, we were going to come hard on this story. We were definitely going to, you know, jerk off hard on this, or we're going to come hard on this or not. We were going to go hard, you know, at the Fries Club here, because look, like the issue here for us is Curly and OC are just simply not, they're not given the answers that the Archieverse wants. Many of our Archieverse members are asking the hard questions, but, you know, before I get into it, I want to show you guys a just a quick poll that we had up yesterday during Curly's show. We released it pretty late last night. Did Curlock answer anyone as to why Mookie quit their show? 61% say Curly deflected all night, and 39% say OC deflected all night. So where's this coming from, right? So I have a timestamp here for you guys from the Fries Club, about 50 minutes into their show. I'm not going to play their clips, guys. I don't steal content. I'm not like them. I don't need to, I'm not dumb enough to get hit by a reuse content strike like those idiots did. But, I'm just going to paraphrase for you guys, and you can definitely check out the clip. I've given you guys a timestamp here, about 50 minutes into the Fries Club show yesterday. One of the members, a pretty respected member of the Archieverse, the Undertaker, asked Curly and OC a point blank question. Is it true Mookie and Curly parted ways? Because, Bear and I had released a story a few hours before. There was a lot of skepticism. People they were in disbelief, I think, is the biggest thing, right? Guys like Rufus, big supporters of Curly, in disbelief that Mookie would quit the hate streams. And so, some of their fans, like, Undertaker's an Archieverse member, but also a fan of the Fries Club, asked his, the show that he likes to watch, these characters that he enjoys watching, like, a very simple question. Is it true Mookie and Curly parted ways? And, Curly always tries to present himself as the stand-up guy, the guy who's going to tell you how it is, just tell you how I see it and all this kind of bullshit he likes to spit. But if you actually watch this clip, and I encourage everybody to go to the Fries Club 50 minutes in and hear Curly's answer, because I'll paraphrase it for you guys. I'll just say, if you guys are too lazy to go check it out, or you don't want to support, the hate streams, well, I'll just tell you what Curly said. And that's basically nothing. Curly was asked, hey, is it true Mookie and Curly parted ways? Curly said, look, I can't speak for Mookie. I can only speak for myself. And then just told us a whole bunch of nothing and a whole bunch of deflection to the question, because Curly did not want to answer it. He did not anticipate to have this show. They put up this stream yesterday. They didn't have a stream scheduled. It was generally an emergency stream because OC had leaked information or intel to the Archieverse. We ran the story and we exposed that Mookie had quit the hate streams. Curly was not anticipating that information to come out that quickly. He wanted to probably wait till his show tonight to be able to control the narrative. And unfortunately, the Archieverse is just, we see bullshit, we smell bullshit, we call it out, right? Like that's just how it is. It's always been that way in the Archieverse, and it's no different in this situation. So yeah, I encourage you guys to go see it. Curly basically does not answer the question, and I actually messaged Undertaker on the side, and I said, Undertaker, you asked a pretty straight up question. Yes, no, answer. Is it true Mookie, and Curly have parted ways? And Curly, the fact that he couldn't just say, no, Mookie has not parted ways with us, we are still working together. The fact that Curly could not simply say that is evidence in and of itself that he's too much of a bitch to own up to his own mistakes. He's too much of a bitch to really tell his fans what's actually going on. But that's what you get with the Fries Club. It's just a lot of sabotage. It's a lot of fake narratives, I would say, creating narratives. They wanted to wait till tonight to control the narrative, but OC leaked it to us too early, and we got ahead of the narrative, and we're actually providing you guys with the truth. And I just asked Undertaker straight up. I said, Undertaker, this is a simple yes or no answer, and the fact that Curly could not, deny this is your answer right there, that Mookie has quit the hate streams. He's done with the nonsense. He's done, with Curly. And, it's just sad that, the Fries Club literally could not give their audience the answers they want. The whole night, people were asking, up until probably this point, I would say, and I think probably even later, people were asking, like, where's Mookie? Like, is it true? Is it true? Is it true? And it's not really the conversation Curly wanted to have. Curly he didn't have the stream planned at all. He had to put up a stream in response to us, creating us content. Like, I'm on the dungeon today, boys and girls, creating content here because he fucked up. He took it too far. And I'm gonna go a little bit deeper with you guys today. I'm not gonna do a long dungeon. I was gonna kind of do it as a bit of a brief for everybody, get everybody up to date, because this story is evolving all the time. There's a lot of players, but really the two players to focus on, I would say, are Curly and OC here. So like I mentioned like I mentioned earlier, OC had leaked intel to us that this was going on, and in my dungeon yesterday, OC started his damage control. Like I basically said, the way the restructuring has happened. I mean, Mookie was the brains of the operation. He gave Curly all the clips. He made all of the AI content, photos. He created the bot that read out the super chats and everything else. Mookie was the brain. So now that Mookie's gone and Mookie's quit, Circular and Curly's changed the company from Circular Drama LLC to Circular Drama Inc. Now, first question I asked everybody yesterday was, where's the money going? Right? Because Circular Drama LLC was to support Mookie. And I think a lot of us were okay with supporting Mookie financially like that, because Mookie does put in hard work. He puts in a lot of clips. He brings in a lot of fun and joy for the Archieverse. But now is the money going to go to Curly? Curly claims he doesn't take a dime from YouTube, but he even said it himself on his stream the day before that he is attempting to get remonetized. He's appealing the reuse content, whatever violation that they got. But then I'm like, well, what's the point, right? If Curly is now solo or Mookie's not involved anymore, why do they have to get monetized again? And where's the money going? Is it going to OC? Is it going to Curly? Is it being split amongst OC, Curly, and the rest of them? I don't know. But I think a lot of folks are going to start questioning whether they're going to start sending money to a group that literally can't even be honest with their own fans with a simple question of, is it true? Is it true that Mookie, and Curly are parted ways? And Curly himself cannot even give a straight answer. Curly could straight up not, ask that question. Curly could not answer that question around why from Undertaker, right? I said this isn't from a random troll. This isn't from anybody else. Rufus, hopefully you got your answer here. That Mookie has parted ways. You were questioning this yesterday, unfortunately, Rufus. But look, I mean, I think it's a big disservice to any of Curly's fans in the sense that he couldn't answer a simple question from his fans saying, "Has this happened?" And Curly just refuses to answer it because he knows that he fucked up here. He begged Mookie to stay, guys. We have all the intel. Curly begged, we got people on our side that have moved over from the old group. And Curly begged Mookie to stay, and Mookie's like, "Fuck you, man. Like, I'm done with this stuff." And, yeah, I mean, let's wait for a direct answer. I actually do have confirmation. Bear Clooney connected directly with Mookie, and Mookie has confirmed that he has left Circular Drama LLC. I mean, that we have confirmed source answer right there. So I don't know what else you want, OC, but yeah, I mean, Mookie's not on your show. He's not. There's no Mookie clips. Like, I mean, you guys can spin this all you want, as you guys are trying to do. But I mean, OC deleted all of these messages yesterday where he leaked this information to the Archieverse. We caught on, called them out, and then they had to set up this like emergency stream where they spent the entire night basically deflecting the questions from the Archieverse, saying, hey, is Mookie still here or not? Like, we don't know what's going on. We're hearing all these rumors. And realistically, like 61%, say Curly deflected all night, and 39% said OC did. Now, as I mentioned earlier, with the restructuring here in Circular Drama LLC, Curly is now becoming the chief deflection officer. That's really his role in the new Fries Club, is to not answer questions directly, be a pussy bitch. He always acts like I'm a stand-up guy and, I'm a straight shooter. I'll give you how it is. And it's, like it's just bullshit. Like Curly couldn't even answer a simple question around, is Mookie here or not? And that just shows you how weak Curly is. And look, we've seen this over the last couple of weeks, with Curly. TGO1 asked Curly straight up, "Hey, did you ever insult me? Like these guys are saying you did." And Curly said, "I never did that. I just said you were OC." We all know that's bullshit. Anybody who watches the dungeon knows Curly went after TGO1. Everybody knows that. Like, we've got, hundreds of hours of tape, on the Horology Dungeon that we have access to. I mean, Curly can't hide that. He just assumes that, like, nobody would be able to find it, or nobody would know, or he could just simply pull a fast one over, TGO1. But people in the Archieverse actually know this. And like I said, I asked people like Logan Hall, who watch this show all the time. They'll probably confirm that they know that because they've seen it firsthand. But, the way I see it here is, we got the redactor in chief, Mikey Casio, GTR. Definitely, I mean, OC redacted literally every one of these comments yesterday around the fact that, Mookie, he didn't leak to us that Mookie had quit. But the reality is that Mookie has quit. So, and OC deleted all these comments. Well, why would he do that, right? Like, why would OC retract all these comments if he didn't realize he fucked up? And that's why I kind of look, day one, I'm going to give a scorecard here for day one. I think Curly, chief deflection officer, I think he did his job, as intended. He was literally told by Golden Baba probably to go on the show and not answer directly if Mookie is not there. However, we can all see it. Mookie is not on the panel. His clips were not being used. Bear Clooney has spoken to Mookie directly, and Mookie has confirmed that he is no longer part of Circular Drama. Like, it's nails in the coffin here, guys. Y'all want to, cry about it and claim spin, whatever. It's all good. But look, Rufus doesn't want to believe it. I mean, Rufus, prove it to me tonight. Show me Mookie on the panel tonight. Like, Mookie's gone, bro. He's gone. And look, then we got OC, the chief damage controller. Now, look, I'm gonna have to, give OC pretty poor marks here. Like, when I came back to the Archieverse, I encountered a lot of, folks that were really putting OC on a pedestal of damage control. And I never really saw it, right? I never really saw OC doing good damage control. And this is really a highlight of how poor it was. He leaks information to us that, Mookie is no longer with the team. And, we press OC around, well, hold on, answer the question directly. Is Mookie there or not? And OC just simply won't do it. And then the same thing, like Curly sets up an emergency stream literally the next, after a few hours, because, OC has been doing such a poor job on damage control that Curly sets up a damage control stream a few hours later, gets asked the same question. And look, these guys, I've got a poll going here for you guys in the chat. Why are OC and Curly deflecting questions about Mookie's departure? 66%, say that they have no strategy. 34% say it's a hate stream cover up. So they don't really think it's like they're trying to, at least at this point, they can't cover it up because the story's out. But 66% say Curly and OC have no strategy here. They put up this like emergency stream, and it's like we knew what was going to happen was many people in the chat were going to ask, what is up with Mookie, right? You guys can play as many Timmy clips as you want or Oshin clips as you want, but the Archieverse is going to ask, Curly claims that there's a shared audience. The Archieverse is going to show up and say, hey, is Mookie here or not? And, all we get, and like I said, here's the timestamp, 50 minutes into Curly's show, Undertaker, an Archieverse member, asks Curly straight up, is it true Mookie and Curly parted ways? And look, Curly simply deflects, did not answer the question. And that was really, I talked to Undertaker after the fact, and Undertaker and I both came to the conclusion that, yeah, Curly just was either scared to give the answer or simply did not know how to handle it. And that's why I said, or I think that's why I think our chat is saying that 66% say there is no strategy. And really, I think that's what it is. They were not anticipating us to get this information. OC fucked up by leaking the intel to us. And, we ran the story all day. Archie came on the show. Archie, invited Mookie back to the show. And yeah, look, like, here in the Archieverse, we provide you guys with cold, hard facts. We provide you guys with the truth. If it's a fake narrative, where's Mookie, right? Like, I'm going to ask that to, anybody in the chat right now. Like, where's Mookie? I didn't see Mookie on Curly's panel yesterday. I didn't see them using the clips. The Mookie Clips channel is gone. Mookie has literally parted ways. So we all know that now. So I'm going to give you guys a bit of the behind the scenes stuff. Look, what has been happening has been, and I'll tell you why this is all came to this point, was Curly was sabotaging Archie's channel a few months ago. He was removing keys from Lux. He was removing StreamYard keys from Lux, and the YouTube keys from Lux. And that was causing problems for the morning show where Lux would show up. And the night before, Curly had removed Lux's StreamYard keys and or even the YouTube keys. And, his YouTube wrench, not his keys. Only Archie can remove YouTube keys. The StreamYard keys and Lux's wrench. So Lux shows up the next morning and, he's got to run a show. Like, he's got to pull up comments. He's got to pull up super chats. If people are getting out of line, like, he needs to have a wrench to handle the chat. Like, Curly thought this was fun and didn't realize that, like, obviously Lux, was doing a job. And, a lot of us would be like, hey, man, you're fucking with Archie's money here. Like, what are you doing? And yeah, we basically tossed Curly out for it. We said, look, this is not what we expect from our team members, and this was just Curly kind of, he can't control it. He can't control himself. And you're going to see that throughout the conversation today. Curly just can't control himself. That was point number one. If Curly can't control himself, he literally was like deleting Lux's wrench and removing his YouTube keys because he thought it was fun, but it was really fucking with Archie's money. Okay, so then Archie boots Curly out. He says, "Look, this is nonsense, Curly. Like we don't need this around here. Just we thank you for your service. Get the fuck out." Right? Curly, as like a jealous like ex-girlfriend, went on a hate campaign for weeks, all the way through Christmas, right? Like we called this out, and many big donors even called this out with Curly, saying, "Hey man, like it's a fucking Christmas season here. Like what are you doing? Like Archie's got it. Like as much as we like to, this is fun and games for a lot of us. Here it's like Archie is simply trying to make a living, and attacking him, and and doing all this, and trying tell lies to his audience and everything else was just in poor taste. And I stepped in at that point and I said to Curly, I said, "Look, Archie's asked you for something very basic. He's helped you out a lot in the past. There was no fucking Mookie channel or and all these other channels with any momentum without us sending you guys the link, promoting your stuff on our channel. Like we've helped you guys a lot. Like the least you could do, Archie's not your primary content. You guys have always said Tim and Oshina are your primary content. Well, you don't have to use Archie's clips." And Curly, at that point was like, "No, fuck you. I don't need to listen to you guys." He was a jealous ex-girlfriend. We broke up with him. We kicked him out of the channel. He was upset. And I said, "Look, Curly, if you're gonna act like an ass and fuck with Archie's money, I'm gonna go into your slots. I'm gonna rebel stream your content. I'm gonna make sure that your viewers know how much of a fucking scumbag you are." And we all saw it yesterday, guys. Like, Madman's not Madman. Undertaker's a good supporter of Curly's, and Curly can't even give him the decency of a simple answer. A simple answer of, yes, Mookie has left. Curly couldn't even do that. He doesn't have to speak for Mookie. He doesn't have to speak for why Mookie left. That wasn't why Undertaker asked this question. Undertaker simply asked, "Is it true Mookie and Curly parted ways?" Curly didn't have to say Mookie parted ways because of X. He could have said, "Yes, the news is true. Tan is right." He doesn't want to say that because it doesn't suit his narrative. But we all know that this is true because, as much as Rufus and OC in the chat are, trying to maybe take the conversation on another tangent, they can't still, write in the chat. I mean, Rufus, OC, you guys in the chat right now, please tell me that Mookie is going to be there tonight. I'd love to, send me a link, send me a message when Mookie hops on the show tonight on the Fries Club, because, we all know it's not true. And you guys can cry all you want in our chat, and that's fine. This is the Horology Dungeon. Like, we don't care. You can cry all you want in our chat, but the reality is Mookie's not there. And Curly is such a bitch that he can't even answer Undertaker's question straight up. This is how weak Curly is. This is why I tell people, why the hell are you scared of Curly? I can come on here for 5, 10, 20 minutes, troll the fuck out of him, make him put on an emergency stream and still fail. Like, he still failed. Like, we have our poll saying, 61%, yesterday when this was up said Curly deflected all night, and 39% said OC deflected all night. Our current poll right now, 65% of the Archieverse right now is saying that, Curly and OC have no strategy. Like, they had to put up this emergency stream, not answer the question they knew was going to come up in the chat because they wanted, they didn't know, they didn't anticipate that this was going to happen. Like, OC, I don't know, he just didn't anticipate us to pick up on his, on his leaks and then get the story out. And unfortunately, look, the Archieverse is, we seek the truth. We ask the hard questions. We don't soft cock here, and I'm calling Curly out. Like, why didn't Curly simply answer, and you guys can all watch this clip, at 50 minutes into the Fries Club. I'm not going to play clips. Like I said, I don't need to steal their content, right? Like, this is the Archie Luxury channel. Like, they steal our content. Like, we make content out of them, but we're original content creators. We don't need to steal shit. I don't need to run a clip. Curly's going to run this clip all day long, and cry about it. But, like, I don't need to run a single clip of his and still hit hard and still inform his community as well as ours that Mookie's bounced. Now, back to the story. So, Curly runs this hate campaign, against Archie all through Christmas. I get involved, and we start rebel streaming his slots. Curly starts, he starts to just kind of go off the rails, right? And, I go into Curly's chat and I say, "Curly, look, I appreciate, I'm flattered that you're crying about me for about 10 hours on your show, but, I'm going to just do a locks report tomorrow, 5 minutes, troll the fuck out of you, and you're going to come back on the next day. I'm telling you, like clockwork, and cry again about me for 12 hours, which is content your viewers, like the colony viewers, just don't want to see. So you're just inadvertently sinking yourself by playing my content. And Curly, Curly even admitted a few days ago that he was getting catfished, that he made that mistake, that he fell into the narrative's trap, my trap, and got catfished multiple times. And his own viewers, Pazuzu, I showed this on another show with Doc Mick in Florida. These guys were complaining, like, hey man, can we move it along? We want to get to the Oshin content. Like, Curly went 9, 10, 12 hours. This is what caused the riff with Mookie. This is Mookie's money. Curly was, he was clearly not able to control himself. So, like I mentioned, point number one, when Curly was, taking keys and stuff away from Lux, couldn't control himself. Point number two of couldn't control himself was when I was trolling him back with the Lux report, like I said I would, because he was going after Archie. Curly then sinks his own money with Mookie and creates this rift. All right, I'm going to pause here. We got a super chat from Jefferson Exotic, $5. Thank you so much, Jefferson Exotic. Tan, would you agree the community would benefit from reunification? If so, I nominate Mookie as General Secretary of the United Narrative. Look, Jefferson Exotic, Curly's not banned here. Mookie is not banned here. None of those guys. OC's in the chat, as you can see. I don't ban people here, right? The Archieverse, this place is for people to have a fun time, have a good time, have a laugh. And a lot of us, we had that with Curly in the past. And, when we talk about the term, the old Curly, right, that was a Curly that was more like, the old dungeon style. But what's happening right now is, he can't control himself. He's so obsessed that, he just has to respond. Dude put up an emergency stream last night to respond to a story that was completely true. Like, he was forced to do it. Like, this is how obsessed Curly is. And like I mentioned, right, he couldn't control himself. I told him, I have clips. I can run probably my own clips, where I said to Curly straight up, I'm gonna use you as content. I'm gonna run a 5-minute troll video, and you're gonna run for 8 to 10 hours the next day. And that happened over and over and over again until Curly's own audience soured to him. Mookie said, you know what, Curly, enough's enough. You can't fucking control yourself. Like, fucking with the money, and then boom, they get hit with the reuse, violation that got caught by the algorithm. So Curly was so tilted. He was so, off edge by my trolling that he started making mistakes, and he started not pausing the clips, and really he couldn't control himself. And that's what caused this. I'm speculating that Mookie probably saw this in Curly, that, the guy just was off the rails, could not control himself, and kept getting catfished. Curly himself has admitted it. Curly himself has admitted he's been catfished by me multiple fucking times. And that's why I tell you guys, Curly's a fucking junior troll. Like, I play this guy like a fucking fiddle every fucking day. Curly just, he gets caught with a troll, and he has to admit it. And look, he wanted to control the narrative by kind of making up a story about why Mookie left. Who knows, right? But the reality is that Mookie, has had enough with Curly. He's had enough of the hate streams, and he's out. And what does that mean now? What does that mean? Well, what that means, and Bear released this information yesterday, was what does that mean for Circular Drama, Inc., as they're calling themselves? Number one, I'm questioning where that money is going, because we all know that Curly claims he doesn't take a dime of this. I don't know if that's true, right? Curly's claiming he doesn't take a dime. Well, okay, if Mookie's no longer in the picture, OC himself was on his show yesterday saying, how many of us make a living off YouTube or make money off YouTube? So that means that OC is not taking the money, or apparently, allegedly not taking the money. And look, I know the rest of those guys are stand-up guys, like Ali Reza, Mo, they're all good. Like, I like those guys. There's no, those guys wouldn't do anything like that. So then the question is the money really going to Curly? Is he lying about taking a dime? And if he's saying, no, I'm not taking the money, then it's like, well, why are you trying to remonetize the channel? Then what's the purpose? What's the point? Curly said himself, he's trying to appeal the reuse violation that they got, the reuse content violation. Basically, what YouTube told them is they're stealing content. As what we've been saying all along, is Curly just steals fucking content. But the fact that they, literally have to appeal the reuse content, and look, where's the money going, right? Like, that's point number one. Point number two is where do they go from here, right? Like, they don't have, the Mookie clips. So, and that was a source of enjoyment for a lot of us. People like, Pantera, people like Boitano, and look, don't get me wrong. Like, I as much as I'm running this narrative, and, I'm calling out Curly and I'm calling out OC, I got no beef with OC, and I really don't have a beef with Curly either. I think he's the one who's kind of just obsessed with me. But hey, that's neither here nor there. I think that what's important here for everybody to understand is, with the no Mookie clips, just there's going to be no super chat AI voice that's going to be reading out the super chats. Like that show is going to be diminished. Yeah, I mean Mookie clips and AI are all gone. Like what is that show now, right? Like it's just it's you're basically going to get what happens on Curly's show at like 4 or 5 in the morning, where there's no more super chats coming in. It's like basically Curly and Golden Baba talking about like fucking whether the aliens built pyramids on Mars or some bullshit, right? Like that's really what it's going to become. And I don't see longevity in that. I mean, O'Sheen O'Malley yesterday did a show speaking about the hate streams. He referred to the Fries Club as the hate streams. Now O'Sheen's a bit behind on the news. O'Sheen had just found out that Curly got demonetized. That's obviously old news. Probably doesn't know that Mookie's gone and doesn't understand what that impact will be on Curly, because look, let's go back to the old dungeon. Okay, let's not even talk about Mookie right now. Let's just go back to the old dungeon days with Narc and everything else. Narc was the clip guy. Narc was the one who found clips and would put them up, and then obviously Curly would comment on them. Curly never did the hard work. Curly never found clips himself. I worked with Curly for a long time. I drove a lot of those narratives. Like, Curly calling himself the mouthpiece is pretty accurate, I would say. And right now, I think the Terminator, Curly in the chats gets owned every time. He needs power to bet. Yeah, like, look, Curly's so fucking soy that he has to ban people. Like, I saw that yesterday. People were asking in his chat, like, where's Mookie? And Curly was just straight banning everybody who was asking that question. He couldn't do that to The Undertaker, because The Undertaker is a respected member of the Archieverse. And, Undertaker, I mean, I'll just tell Curly straight up. I talked to The Undertaker offline, and The Undertaker thinks like you're fucking straight lied to him. So, or just you didn't give the answer that we all knew was there. So it just kind of shows a bit about your character, Curly, that you're just a fucking pussy, and like I said, this isn't the first instance of people calling you out, and you just can't tell the truth. Because, Curly, it doesn't matter about your image online. Like, I think you need to get that through your thick fucking skull. It ain't about that. It's, the viewers, when they smell bullshit, right? Like, they ain't going to stick around for very long. And I think this is going to be the number one problem for Curly moving forward, because without the Mookie clips, without the Mookie AI, photos and everything else, like, it's just going to sink. Like, Mookie fed Curly all the clips. All of the content that Curly would find on O'Sheen, Mookie was the one who found them, either through AI or himself, and would send Curly the tips saying, hey, Curly, this is funny, or hey, Curly, cover this. That's why if you ever watch Curly's shows, he'll say, oh, I got a clip coming in, and then he puts up a new one, right? Those are coming from Mookie. And that is what's going to change in the show is, Curly, like, do you guys honestly think Curly's going to do fucking 20 hours of tape? And watch 20 hours of tape. He's going to do an 8-hour fucking stream. How many hours in the day does Curly have, right? And if he does, great. Like, that guy's going to be even more obsessed running 24-hour fucking, being, researching and running clips on the streams 24 hours. Say, hey, Curly, fill your boots, man. If that's how you want to handle your retirement, all good. But it's just, we all know that now without Mookie, it's a sinking ship. It's not, there's no longevity. O'Sheen O'Malley said it on his own show yesterday. He said, there is no, I can't see this lasting for very long with these guys. They just got demonetized. And actually that's true. Is typically clip streams, they really sit on the fringe of, like, Curly feels that, like, what he does is fair use. YouTube feels otherwise. And this is the funny thing. Curly basically told us to get fucked when we said nicely to him, please don't play our clips. We helped you out. Curly said, fuck you, fair use. And then, he just got a dick in his ass, from YouTube, basically telling him he's stealing content, right? And he's trying to appeal it for what reason? Mookie's no longer in the picture. Curly, who are you paying? Are you paying yourself now? Like, I thought you didn't take a dime from YouTube. Why are you looking to get remonetized? OC said it himself. Nobody on this panel. I'll point you guys who's on this panel. We got Ali Reza, great guy, love Ali Reza. Toyota Mo, no issues with Toyota Mo. We got, Curly Q2 here. We got on the bottom left, Golden Baba and OC. Right, OC said nobody on this panel, takes money. Golden Baba himself said, "Look, I lose tens of thousands," which is true. I've seen Golden Baba. He's been around for a long time, and he spent a lot of money, right? So none of these guys need the money from YouTube. So why is Curly remonetizing? we're asking the hard questions here. Now, look, do I believe that Curly is going to give us a straight answer? No, because look, Curly, has been basically promoted. Like I mentioned at the start of the stream, since Mookie's departure, Curly has essentially been promoted to chief deflection officer. Never to answer any questions, never to answer any of the hard questions. He'll ask everybody else hard questions, but he won't answer a hard question himself. So why are OC and Curly deflecting questions about Mookie's departure? 38% say hey stream cover out, 62% say they have no strategy, because that is true. These guys have no strategy. They're just getting fucked. And I'm sorry, I'm sorry that the Archieverse, got this story and we got it out. And look, you guys are, without Mookie, like, fuck. I mean, that's a tall order to make up there, I think. Because like I said, Curly never watches tape. He was fed everything by Mookie. Curly's, everything with him is fake, right? Like, we all see it. Like, he was on the Kush Club. Why he deleted all his Kush Club videos? Because we caught it again. The Archieverse, we're not, we definitely asked the hard questions. And we asked the hard questions, like, hey man, like, how come you're only getting like, similar views to what I get on my Locks report on Higgy's channel, like fucking 100 views, right? Like, I do that to help Higgy with his viewing hours. That's about it. You know what I mean? Like, why are you guys, if you have real viewers, why do you have like 200 views? Heck, you had Paul Thorpe on your show. Last time Paul Thorpe was on the dungeon, Paul Thorpe, we got 5,400 views. It was one of the highest viewed dungeons of all time. Like, why, why, from a Paul Thorpe perspective, you couldn't even get more than like 300, 400 views? Because the answer is that there is no viewership over the Fries Club, guys. Like, there's maybe like 20 Colony viewers as the, maybe 10, 15 Archieverse guys, and that's it. The rest is fake. Like, Curly quit the Kush Club just because, we called out that he just couldn't get the view. He needs real viewing hours to get that up. And he just realized with 20 to 30 people watching, that's going to take months on months on months, right? He claims he's got like 2,000 fucking real views all the fucking time, but the reality is that it's all fake, man. We all know these are bots. And, if they aren't bots, then how come the Kush Club only had 20 viewers and, the Fries Club allegedly gets anywhere from 100 to what, like 1,500 they had yesterday? I don't fucking know. How does that happen? Right? Like, it's not like WhatsApp doesn't exist. I mean, OC clearly sends the link of the Fries Club or the Cuck Club or where the fuck they are in the Colony WhatsApp group. Curly has his, WhatsApps. He claims he's never on anything, but he has WhatsApp. I know he does. These guys promote their shit all over the place. And they could barely get 20 viewers. And that's why, they abandoned the Kush Club, because they saw that we were calling it out. Myself, Watch Nicholas, many people were calling it out. And then they went back to the Fries Club where they just dump bots. That's okay, man. Like, look, if you guys want to fake it till you make it, whatever, do whatever you guys want. Like, that doesn't matter to us in the Archieverse, right? It matters to Curly. The analytics matters to Curly. And I'm kind of asking, like, what's the point? Like, is the analytics so important to you, Curly, that you have to remonetize? And then the question is it to pay who, right? Like, Curly, you claim that you don't take a dime from the Arch, from any of this stuff. OC on this panel yesterday said that nobody on their panel, nobody in that management group of Circular Drama Inc. needs the money, which I agree with. I don't think any of those guys need this for the money. So then what's the point, right? And this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. I know Curly very well. Curly worked, under Bear, essentially. Bear was really Curly's leader, I would say. Like, that's why Curly hates Bear so much is, Bear was like the wartime general, right? Curly was kind of like the lieutenant. He thought that he could be the general. He thought that, like, he was, he thought that he had, the narrative troll, mastered. And he thought that, like, because Curly says there's different types of trolling. There's dark trolling, there's heavy trolling, there's pay-to-pay trolling, and then there's narrative trolling, right? Curly thought, like, narrative trolling is one of the hardest because you have to, it's not scripted. You guys think it's a script, but it's more around, hey, there's this story, and if this story gets released, how does it affect everything else? It's kind of like reality TV. You put contentious characters into a house and turn up the heat a little bit. Boom, it's going to create a situation. So, Curly just was poor at this, and literally just, I think he thought that in this case with the Mookie narrative, he could get ahead of it, but he just couldn't. And yeah, it's clearly coming to light that Curly is very weak here. And I don't really see a lot of I don't really see a lot of light at the end of the tunnel for these guys, because if we're kind of seeing, like, without Mookie's clips, without Mookie's, I mean, where do people really why do people really super chat the Fries Club? Number one, it's to say something funny in their very favorite character's voice, whether that's Mike the Snake, OC, whatever, right? That's gone right away. So how much income is just going to go out the window just from that? Okay, Mookie's no longer there. They don't have access to that. Okay. Number two, obviously, Pazuzu and these other guys, they love watching the Oshin content, which is great. But are they really going to get that satisfying content anymore? Because a lot of, like, where Mookie got that clips from were either from AI, right? AI would pick up certain pieces of the story in a transcript and tell Mookie, hey, this was interesting, check it out. Or it was Mookie watching it himself and then sending Curly those clips, of which then Curly would then react to. Now, what does that mean, right? Because you're just saying, well, Curly's still here, he can still react. Yes, but the amount of time it takes to find those clips, I mean, he's got to watch hours upon hours upon hours of tape, because he's also running an 8-hour stream, right? Like, and you've seen yesterday's stream was only 5 hours. I have a feeling those streams are going to go shorter and shorter, because Curly's going to have less and less clips without Mookie's software, without Mookie's AI. We all know Curly never did his homework, right? The Narc, Angelic, JL, any of those guys could tell you Curly never did his homework. It was always the Narc who had the clips. That's why me and Narc are laughing at this, because we're like, the guy who is branded himself as the clip keeper, Curly, really never was the clip keeper. Narc was doing clips on the dungeon, and Watch Nick was doing clips way before Curly ever entered the scene, right? Curly's just a copycat. And, he was good at what he did because of Mookie. He had Mookie to support him. Same with Watch Nick, I would say. Like, Watch Nick got significantly better with Mookie's support. But take Mookie out of the mix, I mean, the Emperor's got no clothes. Curly is not going to be able to, control him. So I guarantee you he's going to respond to this video. Curly's just, like I said, he can't help himself. I troll the fuck out of him. He can't help himself. He can't, he can't stop, he can't stop, which is great for me because it creates content for me. It gives me something to talk about. Like, if Curly had straight up just said, hey, Undertaker, yeah, you know what? Yeah, Mookie's gone. I don't have a lot of information of why, but Mookie's gone. At least answered it point blank. That would have been the first thing I would have done. Like, I'm going to give OC and Curly a bit of a, free, look, a bit of free coaching here on how to actually run how to fucking run a channel. So the first thing, and how to do damage control, OC, the first thing you should have done is been honest with your viewers. Hey guys, there's a lot out in the news. We just want to make a quick statement that yes, Mookie has parted ways with Circular Drama LLC. We don't want to speak for Mookie, but we do want to inform our audience that this has happened, right? This is not what these fuckers did. They just hopped on the stream, made a couple of jokes, just literally trying to mock other things, like, because they think it's like they think that that's how they set the stage, is just making up random fucking dad jokes. And then, then the chat starts pressing them. They think this is an hour into the show, guys. Like, I'm going to blow up this timestamp a bit for you guys. Like, this is almost an hour into the show where Undertaker has to ask this question. An hour into the show, Curly is not answering. Like, fuck, I would have said this in the first, 2 minutes of the show, right? But again, it's not even Terminator. It's not even Poison. Like whenever OC, better people would tell me, like Bear or all these other guys. When I first came back to the Archieverse, Bear and all these guys would be like, "Oh, you got to watch out for OC," or "Don't talk to OC. You're gonna get hypnotized," or some bullshit. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, guys, like, this is like how poor this guy is at damage control. That an hour into his show, a guy like the Undertaker, a very respected guy, is like, hey guys, what the hell is actually going on here? Is it true Mookie and Curly parted ways? Straight up. And Curly still does not answer his audience. Like, this just shows you who Curly is. And I think Higgins said it best on, the show when Curly hopped on Higgins' show a few days ago. Higgins said to him, he said, look, man, because Curly kept saying, oh, I don't remember I did this. I don't remember I did this. We all know Curly fucking remembers everything. Of course he does. Higgins said to him, he said, look, man, just because you don't remember this shit doesn't mean it doesn't affect people. Doesn't mean it doesn't stick with people. This is who Curly is. He's a guy who will say anything, that he wants. He doesn't care what you think. And again, it doesn't matter who you are, right? You may be a donor of his today. You may be Madman or you may be Undertaker, or you may be whoever, that donates to him today. I can guarantee you, Curly will flip on you on a dime. I helped that guy more than anybody did, financially, through super chats, sending the link, promoting Mookie's videos, all this stuff. Okay, this guy will turn on anybody, and he doesn't care. Like I said, the reason why Curly's no longer in the Archieverse was he was literally sabotaging the show. He deleted Lux's StreamYard keys. He was deleting Lux's wrench every fucking single day before Lux was able to go on the show. And Lux just got to a point where he sent me a message. He's like, "Look, man, what the hell is this? This is bullshit. Like, I can't. I'm just trying to do my job, and Curly's being a dick. Can you talk to him?" And look, like I said, Curly just doesn't want to ever back down. We confront him and say, "Curly, what are you doing?" Nah, fuck Lux. Archie just said, "Look, Curly, this is just unacceptable. Like, you're gonna have to go." And he booted Curly from the Archieverse. That's what happened, guys. That is the true facts. From there, Curly, the jealous ex-girlfriend, looking from the outside in, ran a hate campaign for weeks. We covered it. He ran it through Christmas, like completely oblivious to the fact that this is Archie's bread and butter. This is how he makes money, right? This is his business. Number two, Curly, he just literally mocked Archie throughout the whole thing. Oh, I think they were running the shtick, the Grinch, instead of the Grinch that stole Christmas, the Mookie that stole Christmas. Like, they were literally mocking the fact that, while shit talking and spilling lies to Archie's viewers about Archie for the sole purpose of lowering Archie's revenue and taking money off the table of, his children, his family, whatever you want to call it. Like, you want to call it a spade, you're going after the guy's business. You're affecting his income. And that was just something that didn't sit well with me. So like I said, I got on a private stream with Tommy and Curly, and I said, look, this all needs to end. War is not good for business for nobody. This all needs to end. And I said to him, Curly, look, your bread and butter is Tim O'Sheen content. That's what you guys say you always focus on. You don't need to play Archie's clips. So we would respect. I mean, this is Archie's wishes. This is not coming from me. This is coming from Archie, that he hopes that, you can abide by his wishes, that he doesn't want you to play his clips. Curly literally said, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. Fair fucking use. Get fucked. Okay, well, hey, he can't get mad at me and everybody else for YouTube putting a dick up his ass, giving him a strike or a violation for reuse of content. Like, YouTube themselves have said Curly is stealing content. He can say fair use all he fucking wants, but the reality is that YouTube fucking took him down, right? And that's what O'Sheen pointed out yesterday. That's what we point out, because look, enough's enough, guys. Like, I think Mo uses the term like snitches and stuff. It's like, man, like, Curly is literally violating, what actually is allowed on YouTube. Like, look, there's a certain line that you just don't cross. Like, it's all fun and games when we're talking about, like, oh, let's make fun of Archie's Three Brigades. It's another thing by, like, crossing the line and stealing content, like, that YouTube clearly says is a violation. That's not snitching, man. And the reality is that the AI caught them. So who's the snitch? It's Curly himself. The fucking AI caught him and took him down. Now, Curly, like I said, is trying to get remonetized, but the reality is that, like, what's the point, right? Like, so Curly was monetized. I mean, that's the story he told us. Curly was monetized for the fact that he was helping Mookie financially. He was doing the shows for free, and he was giving Mookie the money. Great, right? That's the story we've all heard up until now, right? Like, I mean, chat, tell me if I'm wrong. That is, that is the story we've heard so far, was Curly was doing this for free and helping Mookie, right? Okay, all right. Mookie's now quit the Curlyverse. He's quit. He's walked out. Curly is still attempting to get that appeal done for his remonetization. He said it himself 2 days ago on his show. He said, "Hey, I'm seeking remonetization. I'm filing the appeal today." And then I started thinking, okay, well, who's getting the money then? OC himself yesterday, like I said all 5 people on that panel, all of the management of the Curlyverse don't need the money. Well, then who's getting paid here, right? I think that's a big question the Archieverse needs to ask: is who's getting paid? Is it Curly? Because Curly's whole narrative was he never gets paid off of this. I don't know. Right? I don't know. Maybe they're gonna give it to charity. Maybe that's a good idea. That's OC is gonna try to, like, bring up that. Hey, you heard that here first on the Horology Dungeon. Maybe they're gonna give it. I hope they do. Right? I hope they do give it to charity, but we're gonna need receipts. Like, we're gonna be following that money trail here with Curly, because why is he seeking remonetization if nobody in his group needs the money now? Right? Why doesn't he stay unmonetized? I mean, that would make the most sense. No real threat of copyright strike, et cetera, et cetera. But he can't. I'll tell you why Curly is not doing that. Why he can't not get monetized. Because it's all about the analytics. And Curly's got to fake it till he makes it. Right? He's buying bots. He's buying views. Like you put 2 and 2 together. He was on the Kush Club a week ago. He could barely get 200 viewers. Even with Paul Thorpe, OC had to call in a favor. OC had that one favor he had all year with Paul Thorpe. Decides to call in for the Cuck Club, right? And fucking Paul Thorpe shows up. They can barely get 300 viewers. Like it's crazy. I think my dungeon yesterday got more viewers than Paul Thorpe on their channel. Like what? Like what? Like how does this so? But now when they go to the Kush Club, they got 2,000 views. They've got anywhere from 100 to 1,500. Bullshit, guys. Bullshit. You guys got 20 to 30 real viewers. You pay for bots. Like we all know it, man. Like look, add these all up. Let's add it all up. Curly is not answering Undertaker directly. Is it true Mookie and Curly parted ways? Curly did not answer that question directly. Evidence number 2. OC backtracks leaking that Mookie is gone. Like I'll show this to you. Why are you dragging Mookie in a drama? I didn't confirm anything. Please don't make stuff up. Like, what am I making up? Mookie's gone. Like, again, point number 2 of them lying, right? Point number 1, like I mentioned, was Curly simply on the franchise club or on the Fries Club, not answering Undertaker's question. Point number 2, OC lying here, then retracting his comments. Like, guys, this is all point. And point number 3, I guess, is the main point, is Mookie's actually gone. Like this is, let this sit in. Let this, settle in here, guys. Mookie's actually gone. Okay. Like a guy who's really helped out this community a lot with his clips and everything. Mookie's gone. Like, why would you trust anything Curly's saying? Literally at this point. Like he could not even answer Madman directly. They make up stories like, we're buying them. Like all like, why would we do that? Why would we send you bots? Like let's just if you want to play that out, JDMTL, let's just play out this narrative right away. Why would I buy Curly bots? Like why would we do that? That would be sending viewers to him. Why would we do that? That makes no sense. But it does make a lot of sense that they would buy themselves bots. And like I said, follow the paper trail. Like, don't follow what OC and Curly are crying about. And, look, they had to put up, I don't know if you guys saw yesterday, Golden Baba was putting up polls every fucking 2 minutes, acting like that's how he's going to prove the viewership is real. I mean, dude, like we all know, like, are you serious? You're using polls as your way of showing true viewership? Like, bro, like we put up polls I had polls, troll polls with Archie all the time that had like 200, 300 fucking, votes. That doesn't mean there's 300 people watching. It's probably 100 people, with 3 fucking troll accounts. And literally his 60 votes that he got is probably, like I said, that 20, 30 people with like 1 or 2 troll accounts. That's all it is. So, follow the paper trail. Curly uses the Kush Club a week ago, has Paul Thorpe on, could barely get 300 viewers. Okay. Like I'm not even fucking with you guys here. I'm going to go show you guys. I'm going to show you guys here, like our stream with Paul Thorpe. And, it is literally the highest viewed stream on the Horology Dungeon here. I'm just going to find it here on the Horology Dungeon channel. I'm going to share my tab here, Horology Dungeon. So if I go to live stream here in the Horology Dungeon, I say, show me the most popular videos. The most popular, highest viewed video here. Sorry, I got around 4,600 views. Paul Thorpe and Curly responded to him 8 months ago. Okay, I worked on this stream with Curly. I gave Curly a big shout out. He did really well on this stream. I contacted Paul Thorpe. Tim Wright was, I guess it was like about, Tim Wright was attacking Paul Thorpe. I think about Digital Watch Vault. I don't really remember. I contacted Paul Thorpe right away. I said, look, don't get catfished by Timmy. Respond with us on the dungeon. I got a hold of Curly. I said, look, Curly, this is an opportunity for us to really hit, Tim hard with Paul Thorpe. So we got Paul Thorpe on the dungeon. 4,600 views. Okay. The highest viewed dungeon was this one. Okay. Curly could barely get 3. If we go to the Cuck Club, he's deleted all his videos. Like I'm going to show you guys here the, let's go search the old Kush Club here for you guys. The Cuck Club. Let's see the Cuck Club here. No videos. This channel does not have any content, right? Does this look like a channel? Does this look like a group that 1,300 subs, right? Does this look like a group that like is actually getting 100 plus viewers a night? Like bullshit. These guys have like, we clearly saw that their views were shit. Me, Watch Nicholas, Bear, many of others were calling Curly out for it. Then Curly pivots back to the Fries Club and starts rebotting, resending bots, because he's been doing that forever. Like look, follow the paper trail. right? What is more likely? Tan is sending bots to Curly to support Curly, or Curly needing bots to hide his fake viewership after he got called out for it and deleted all the videos off the Kush Club, right? Like, put two and two together. Curly is fucking faking it till he makes it. That's just how it is. Nice to see you, Morty. Nice to see you in the morning here. Just got up pushing the coffee. Great to hear from you, Morty. Terminator Tan, OC put that post up deliberately, then retracted it. That is what he does, and twist it and make it. Yeah, but like, here's the problem, Terminator, is OC can only do that when he has what's called plausible deniability. He has a way out of the story, a way out of the narrative, right? Oh, I can put something up, retract it, but I have plausible deniability around if somebody actually asks me the point blank question. The issue with this here is, when we look at this question that our good friend Undertaker asked Curly, is it true Mookie and Curly parted ways? Which is basically what we're asking OC. There is no plausible deniability here. Like, it's a straight up question that they just, they have to answer, and the community's been asking that question. I mean, look, by the way, shout out to Ozzy Expat. Nice to see you, bro. This was almost an hour into their show where they did not address Mookie being gone. That just tells you something. I'm telling you guys, read between the lines. You hear what these guys are saying. Oh, these guys are sending us bots and blah, 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 blah. Read between the lines. They put up shows on the Kush Club with literally like 200 views, then take them all down because we're embarrassing them and laughing at them, and then punt back to the franchise club. Like, it's all fake. Like, they can't even answer this question directly to Undertaker. They can't even answer this question directly. Like, we are most of their viewers until we get bored. That is straight up how it is. Like, Curly is just like, it's sad, right? It's getting to the point where, it's just getting sad. And look, I've moved the Archieverse in a different direction. As you guys see on the main show, we have a different dynamic now. We have a lot more panel. We got that new guy, Roy, hopping on, talking timepieces. We've got new people and old people hopping on, from the past. Like, it's been great. And it's been about watch talk. It's about fun in the Archieverse. This is what we kind of we uprooted Curly out of it. We said, look, we don't need sabotage. We don't need, you causing bum fights and wars in our channel. Like, that is what drove a lot of our viewers away. And we're trying to bring them back by having fun in the Archieverse. That's why you saw guys like Swinging Kangaroo showing up yesterday, super chatting for Bear, right? That's why we've seen, a lot of people, a lot of faces like Pine Baron and other, big donor names, come back after a while because Curly's gone now, and we're happy with it, guys. Like, I'm good with it, right? Because I know Dirk Diggler was all worried, like, oh, if Curly says he's going to come back to Archie, it's going to be all forgiven. For Mookie, yes. For Mookie, I'm going to run this banner. I think we still have this banner from yesterday where Archie welcomed Mookie back to the Archieverse. For Mookie, yes, Mookie is welcome with open arms, no questions asked, water under the bridge, no issues. With Curly, it's a different story. Curly sabotaged the channel. He's gone after a lot of people. I mean, Higgins had mentioned it. I mean, he's gone after Crappy. He's gone after Herman. He's gone after Patrick. He's gone after a lot of people, right? And we just don't want that baggage anymore here in the Archieverse. And people say, well, Tan, like, aren't you throwing away money? And I'm going to say, no, I'm not. Because when you guys are talking about Curly made all this money in the dungeon, you're not talking about last year. You're talking about pre-Watch Nicholas days when it was Curly, it was Angelic, it was Narc, it was JL. And we all know if Curly ever came back to the channel, it would never be that dynamic. None of those guys would work with Curly anymore, number one. Okay. When Curly was back after he left Watch Nicholas, Curly was like, he was barely cracking probably $100 a show. Like, Curly was, and most of that was probably even my money. Like, Curly is not capable of making money on his own fucking channel, let alone ours. And look, like, kind of lastly of why I wouldn't really want Curly back in the Archieverse is look, he's not a professional. The guy has nuked how many channels with copyright strikes and reuse violations. He hit the Watch Nicholas channel with reuse violations. He's hit Mookie multiple times now with these violations. Like, Curly, this isn't the first time Mookie's been demonetized, by the way. Like, let's not get stuff twisted here. Curly's been demonetized a couple of times. And I think Mookie's just had it, like, this was the last straw. Curly fucked up, got him demonetized. And yeah, I mean, it's just sad that, like, and look, I just don't want that on the dungeon, right? Like, I don't want Curly coming on here playing clips. We don't need to play clips, right? We don't need to steal people's content. We create our own content. I can analyze this situation. I can give you guys feedback. I can call shit out. Like I said, follow the paper trail. right? What is a more believable story? Tan sending bots to help Curly, or Curly using bots to hide his fake viewership or his low viewership that we all saw on the Kush Club? I mean, what's more believable here? I mean, you could be Rufus in the chat and just be, blindly just following Curly. And that's cool, man. If you just want to drink the Kool-Aid, that's fine. But I think, the real high IQ trolls here, we see Curly for what he really is, an emperor without clothes. I've always kind of seen Curly that way. I never saw him as a master troll or somebody to be worried about or, or scared of. Like, I come on here for an hour, troll the fuck out of him, trigger the fuck out of him, and I'm just going to chill, man. I'm going to chill, hang out with my paddock, hang out, wear my paddock for leaves, chill in the land. But it's like my life's not affected by this, Curly. But you're going to go and run 12-hour streams. But, what I think is really the kind of punchline here is Mookie has quit the hate streams. Curly no longer has access to a lot of the software and I would say intel that Mookie would literally feed to him. And I think that's going to have a huge effect on the Curly show, because I think really it's going to be, a sinking ship from here. I don't think the content's going to be very good. And look, Archie, from the Archieverse's perspective, onwards and upwards for us, we're focused on fun in the Archieverse. And yeah, look, I said it to Curly, months ago, and I'll say it again. You attack the Archieverse, fuck around and find out. And that's, look, hey, I don't have any remorse for you and Mookie breaking up, or you just getting too obsessed with my narratives that you had to respond for weeks on weeks on weeks and sank the money, while also being so tilted that you had to, like you said it's all fair use, but you did not press stop on that play button and the algorithm caught you, bro. So look, guys, short stream today, an hour in here. I want to give you guys a quick, quick kind of news brief, a bit of a debrief, answer, and talk to people in the chat here. We've got a lot of content coming up tonight. The Archie Luxury live stream will be live this evening. And look, guys, like I said, keep asking the hard questions like, Undertaker is here. I'm going to look at the final kind of results on this, on this poll here for you guys. 61%, here in the poll from on the Horology Dungeon said, Curly deflected all night. Like, this is what it is, deflection, lies, and just fake, fake everything, right? Fake. They can't even make up a fake story, because the Archieverse asked the hard questions and really found out that Mookie had quit the hate stream. So look, guys, I'm going to see you guys next time. This was the Horology Dungeon. I am the Narrative, and I will see you guys tonight. Take care and peace out.